So here is the derivation for stiffness matrix for the beam element. Stiffness matrix for beam element. So I want to clarify that every problem used to assume some displacement equation, and the displacement equation is having some constant, so use the boundary condition for the validation of the constant, and complete this set of displacement equation, and we have to split the displacement equation in terms of shape function and the nodal displacement equation, so that you can find out the shape function for the particular problem. So with the use of the number of shape functions get from a particular problem, you can formulate the transformation matrix by assembling the shape function in row wise. And finally, to evaluate the stiffness matrix, we use the formula B transverse B EA into dx. For unidirection element, we use this formula. For a 2D element like a beam, we can use some boundary conditions to get the stiffness matrix value. So here the beam element is already derived for the shape functions n1 to n4. Now we are going to derive the stiffness matrix. So first I am starting with the transverse displacement equation. Transverse displacement equation, that is a V of x equation. We already derived the V of x equation for a beam element, that is 2 by L cube d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2 into x cube. So this is the term common for x cube, that is n1, the value of shape function 1, and minus 3 by L square d1y minus d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 1, 2 plus 1 plus pi 2 into x square plus pi 1 x plus d1y. So here the steps, I want to explain the steps. We are going to find out the differentiation form of this equation. So the rotation for this beam element is assumed like this. Here the rotation is positive. Here the rotation is negative. Anyhow, it is assumed as anti-clockwise rotation. And for this rotation, for this bending, the beam has to resist with the shear force downward direction. For this end, the beam is deflecting downward, so the reaction should be, that is, in the opposite direction. That is F1y direction, here it is minus, F2y direction, here it is plus. And the moment direction, here it is plus, here the moment direction is minus. Basically, we need to know the moment curvature equation. M is equal to minus EI d square V by dx square. From this we can find the shear force, that is dm by dx is also minus EI d cube V by dx cube. So minus EI d square V by dx square, the shear force nodal force value minus EI d cube V by dx cube. So from this component only we are going to assemble the stiffness matrix. Normally, you know the stiffness matrix is derived from force displacement relation, that is force is equal to K into U. In beam member, the force at the node 1 is F1y, and the moment, that is the rotation, and force in the node 2 and the moment value is the corresponding influencing parameter in a beam element, which is equal to some matrix, that is K matrix, into the displacement or rotation vectors. What is the effect of by the nodal force? What is the effect due to the nodal force? Definitely there will be a displacement. And what is the effect due to this moment? Definitely there will be a rotation. For this F2y, there will be a displacement at node 2. For this moment, there will be a rotation at node 2. So we have to get the matrix in the format of F1y, M1, F2y, M2, which is equal to some matrix into D1y, pi 1, D2y, pi 2. So this matrix can be stated as the stiffness matrix. So we are going to derive the matrix here. We are going to derive the matrix here by considering the relationship between F1y and the response D1y. How we can state the relationship F1y and D1y? We can use this formula. The shear force is nothing but the nodal force. So we are getting the displacement equation V. So we are going to differentiate thrice to get the nodal force. We are going to differentiate the V twice to get the moment, so that we can arrive the matrix format. So next page, I am going to differentiate the displacement function. So again I am writing, because for easy understanding, I am writing the same equation of transverse displacement, pi 1 plus pi 2 whole multiplied with x cube plus minus 3 by L square d1y minus d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2 into x square plus pi 1 x plus d1y. So this is our displacement equation. Now I am going to differentiate dv by dx, which is equal to 3x square 2 by L cube d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2 plus the second term x square, which is differentiated by 2x minus 3 by L square d1y minus d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2 plus pi 1, and d1y is 0 because it is a constant with respect to x. So I am again differentiating d square v by dx square is 6x 2 by L cube d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2 plus 2 minus 3 by L square, because 2x, if you differentiate 2x, it is 2. Otherwise there is no change in this equation. d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2. Pi 1 is now, it is a constant with respect to x. So keep this d square v by dx square is equal to 1 because we are going to deal the equation only with d square v by dx square and d cube v by dx cube, which represent the moment and shear force respectively. Now we are going to again differentiate the above equation with respect to x. Once again, d cube v by dx cube is 6 2 by L cube d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2, and all other terms are 0 because all other terms are constant. And now you consider this is equation number 2. Now put x equal to 0 in equation number 1. Put x equal to 0 in equation number 1. So d square v by dx square of 0, which is equal to the first term fully 0. So the remaining term is 2 minus 3 by L square or d1y minus d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2. This is the remaining term in d square v by dx square. So I am going to separate each term. 1 by L cube outside minus 6. If you take 1 by L cube outside, we have to multiply with the L because only L square is available. So minus 6L or d1y minus of minus plus 6L or d2y minus, we are taking 1 by L cube outside. So 2 into 2. Outside 2 is there. So 2 into 2, 4 pi 1 L square minus 2 pi 2 L square. Minus 2 pi 2 L square. So d square v by dx square of 0 is equal to 1 by L cube. So we have to arrange this equation in the order of d1y pi 1, d2y pi 2. So minus 6L d1y minus 4 pi 1 L square plus 6L or d2y minus 2 pi 2 L square. So you keep, this is equation number 3. Equation number 3, it is an important equation in this derivation because the cofactor of the element is arranged as the stiffness matrix. So you remember this step. So coming to the next step, you put x equal to L in equation 1. X equal to L in equation 1. So this d square v by dx square representing the moment, because moment is equal to minus Ea d square v by dx square. If you put x equal to 0, you will get the moment 1. If you put x equal to L, if you get the moment 2 at the second node. So at x equal to L, it gives 6L 6L 2 by L cube d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2 plus 2 minus 3 by L square d1y minus d2y minus 1 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2. So we have to separate each term. So if you multiply this, 12L by L cube d1y minus d2y and 6L by L square pi 1 plus pi 2 minus 6 by L square d1y minus d2y minus 2 by L 2 pi 1 plus pi 2. So I am taking 1 by L cube as common. So if you take 1 by L cube common for all the term, you can easily remember the stiffness matrix. That's why we are taking a common term outside. So 12. At the same time, we are going to separate d1y, d2y and all the terms. So 1 by L cube outside. So 12L d1y minus 12L or d2y plus 6L square pi 1, because the denominator is having only L square, we have to make L cube, so multiply with the L, plus 6L square pi 2 minus 6L d1y plus 6L d2y, because outside one minus is there, so once you multiply with the inside minus, it is plus 6L d2y minus 4 pi 1, the denominator is L, so we have to multiply with the L square, minus 2 L square pi 2. So now we have to arrange in the order d square v by dx square of L, which is equal to 1 by L cube, 1 by L cube. So 6 d1y, here 12 L d1y minus 6L d1y. So the resultant is 6L d1y. In d2y, so this terms are over. d2y minus 12. So first term is d1y. Next term we should concentrate on pi 1. 6L square pi 1 minus 4L square pi 2. So plus 2L square pi 1. Next term d2y. d2y minus 12L d2y. Here it is plus 6L d2y. So minus 6L d2y. Next pi 2 term 6L square pi 2 minus 2L square pi 2. So it is plus 4L square pi 2. So you keep, this is equation number 4. This is also very important equation because we are going to take the coefficient of this equation to form the stiffness matrix. So now till now we consider only d square v by dx square at x equal to 0, and at x equal to L we come with two equations. Now you consider d cube v by dx cube. You consider d cube v by dx cube. So our equation d cube v by dx cube. In this equation we are going to consider at x equal to 0 and x equal to L. X equal to 0 and x equal to L. Here there is no difference when you substitute x equal to 0 and x equal to L, because there is no x term. If you resolve this term, if you simplify this term, you can take it for x equal to 0 as well as x equal to L. So now d cube v by dx cube at 0. So simply all the values are constant. There is no variable of x1. So d1y minus d2y plus 1 by L square pi 1 plus pi 2. So you separate all the terms. You take L cube, 1 by L cube outside. 12 d1y, next one pi 1 value. So it is 1 by L square pi 1. So multiply it with the L value. So 6 multiplied with L multiplied with pi 1. Next one minus 12 d2y, next to pi 2 term plus 6L pi 2. 6L pi 2. So this is equation number 5. When you put x equal to L, d cube v by dx cube of L is also same. There is no variation. I think this is 6. Okay, 6. The same equation 1 by L cube 12 d1y plus 6L pi 1 minus 12 d2y plus 6L pi 2. We have completed all the 4 equations, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to assemble the stiffness matrix with these 4 equations. So we know that already the nodal force F1y, otherwise we can state it is Q is equal to EI d cube v by dx cube. So if you consider x equal to 0, so I already told that the rotation is like this, the bending is upward, so definitely the resistant reaction will be downward. So it is minus F1y. So if you multiply with this minus, it will become plus. So F1y, already it is minus F1y. So if you make F1y, it is plus EI d cube v by dx cube. So you remember this condition, that is downward, the reaction is downward. So F1y is equal to EI by L cube. We already have the equation 12 d1y plus 6L pi 1 minus 12 d2y plus 6L pi 2. Okay, over. Next one, moment. Because we are deriving the equation in the order of stiffness matrix. Next one, bending moment. Bending moment M1. M1 is minus EI d square v by dx square. It is a positive moment of 0. So you have the equation, it is minus EI by L cube minus 6L d1y. I think it is a solution of 3. It is a solution from the equation 3. So you kindly refer the previous step. Solution from 3 is taken for the first step here. So minus 6L d1y minus 4 pi 1 L square plus 6L d2y minus 2 pi 2 L square. So if you multiply the minus inside, it is EI by L cube 6L d1y plus 4 pi 1 L square minus 6L d2y plus 2 pi 2 L square. So you remember this equation also for M1, F1y and M1. The next for M2, nodal force F2y is minus d cube v by dx cube of L. So here the shear force is upward. So the moment curvature equation does not changes its sign. It is minus EI d cube v by dx cube. So F2y is equal to minus EI by L cube 12 d1y plus 6L pi 1 minus 12 d2y plus 6L pi 2. If you multiply minus inside, EI by L cube minus 12 d1y. d1y means the displacement in y direction at node 1. Minus 6L pi 1 plus 12 d2y minus 6L pi 2. So this is also one of the element in the stiffness matrix. Next one remaining part is moment M2. So we know it is EI d square v by dx square. So it is minus EI, the moment here is negative, so it becomes positive. So EI d square v by dx square. So it is EI by L cube 6L d1y plus 2L square pi 1 minus 6L d2y plus 4L square pi 2. So arranging the above equations, in the order F1y, m1, f2y, m2. In matrix format, f1y, m1, f2y, m2, which is equal to some matrix. Finally, I am going to fill the matrix into d1y pi 1, d2y pi 2. So here, for example, I can fill the coefficient for m2. m2 is the last row. So what is the coefficient for d1y? It is 6l. So you fill the value 6l. What is the coefficient for pi 1? It is 2l square. What is the coefficient for d2y? It is minus 6l. The coefficient for pi 2 is 4l square. Similarly, you fill the other terms also. For f2y, the first coefficient is minus 12, second is minus 6l, third is 12, finally minus 6l. Here it is plus 6l, 4l square, minus 6l and 2l square. 12, 6l, minus 12, 6l. So if you see the sign for the rotation changes alternatively when you compare f1y and f2y as well as m1 and f2. So this is the way to derive the stiffness matrix for the beam element. There are some other ways for deriving the stiffness matrix for the beam element, but here we have to know how to formulate the shape function. From the shape function, how to find the stiffness matrix. The only way to derive the stiffness matrix from the shape function is integration over B transverse B EA dx for the one-dimensional bar element. For the beam element, we have to approach towards the bending moment and shear force format. So you have to analyze the difference between the one-dimensional element with the two-dimensional element, and also the one-dimensional axially loaded element with the member loaded with the moment and shear force. Here the beam member have 4 number of unknowns, so we use 4 number of constant in this equation to find out the response for the particular loading. So in a one-dimensional bar element, we can use only one displacement is the ux is our unknown. So you can solve the problem using 3 component or 4 component or 2 constant or 3 constant, whichever is our requirement. If you use more number of coefficient in a assumed equation, you get more accurate result. That is a main concept of finite element.